In this session, we shall discuss about the different design loads for bridges. So, various types of loads are considered in the design of bridge structures. These loads and their combination will decide the safety of the bridge construction during its use and under all circumstances. The design loads that should be considered properly for perfect design of the bridge are explained now. So some of the loads, the forces and stresses that should be considered in the design are the dead loads, live loads, impact of the live load, the water currents, the longitudinal forces, that is due to the tractive or braking force, frictional resistance to the bearings, centrifugal force, buoyancy, earth pressure, that is inclusive of live load surcharge, the temperature effects, deformation effects, secondary effects, wind loads, wave pressures, impact due to floating bodies, erectional stresses and seismic forces are some of the loads that should be considered while designing the bridge structures. So the dead load is nothing but the self weight of the bridge element itself. The different elements of a bridge are the deck slab, the wearing cord, the railings, the parapets, stiffeners and other utilities. So it is the first in the design of the bridges. The first thing is what type of bridge I am going to construct, what is the material that I am going to use. So what is the dead weight of these materials that will be coming. So these are the things that need to be calculated in the dead load. Then the live load. The live load on the bridge. What type of traffic will be moving on the bridge throughout its length. The moving loads of the vehicles, the pedestrians, etc. has to be considered. So it may be the group of vehicles, whether it is. So you have the IRC classifications. That is class AA loading, class A loading, 70R loading. So the IRC, the Indian Road Congress, has provided with different vehicle types. That is, you have class A, class B, class 70R loading. So depending upon the type of the vehicle, there are different classifications that has to be considered in the design of the loads. Then you have the impact load. That is, the impact load on the bridge is due to sudden loads which are caused when the vehicle is moving on the bridge. So when the wheel is in the movement, the live load will change periodically from one wheel to another, which results the impact load bridge. So as I told you, the live load on the bridge shall be designed as per the IRC specifications. So how many number of lanes have to be designed, what should be the carriage width, what should be the load combination, all have been as per the IRC specification. It is provided in IRC 6, IRC 516. So for spans greater than 9 meters and if it is a RC bridge, for a tracked vehicle and for a wheeled vehicle, the impact will be different. So for a tracked vehicle, it will be 10% up to 40 meter span, and for wheeled vehicle, it will be 25% up to 12 meter span. For steel bridges, for tracked vehicles, 10 meters for all spans, and for wheeled vehicle, it will be 25% up to 25 meters span. For the you have to calculate the impact. What will be the impact factor? So for the design of piers and abutments below the bedlock, the impact percentage of the following proportion shall be allowed. That is, what will be the pressure on the bearings and on the top of the bedlock. That is, the full value have to be considered. The bottom of the bedlock, that is half the value. From bottom of the bedlock up to 3 meters below, half to 0, decreasing uniformly. 3 meters below the bedlock, it will be 0. Then the wind load, that will be acting horizontally on any exposed partition of the wall. For deck structures, the area of the structures shall be considered. The wind load, that is the wind pressure and the velocity, at what speed the wind is flowing and what will be the pressure exerted by the wind on the structure has to be considered. So at what height the exposed surface, which is the height of the surface exposed above the ground level or the bed level, and V is the horizontal velocity and P is the horizontal wind pressure. So IRC 6 provides different pressures and velocities that has to be considered for different height of the structure that is exposed above the ground level. Then the horizontal forces due to water current. Water current, that is the exertion of water pressure on the structure. Apart from the intensity of wind pressure, water pressure also has to be considered. So it depends upon the shape of the bridge piers, whether it is having square ends, circular ends, semicircular ends, triangular ends with an angle of 30 degrees, or it is between 60 and 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, etc. So depending upon that, the impact value changes. Then it is the longitudinal forces. So whenever there is a vehicle moving on the bridge, there will be some tractive effect or braking effect on the braking effect that will be applied by the vehicle on the bridges. So this creates some longitudinal forces, that is the horizontal forces that will be created, and apart from this there will be horizontal forces due to the bearing also, due to the passage of vehicles. So these are forces that should be considered for calculation when the design of the bridge is being done. The buoyancy, that is because the structure is submerged in the water. So what is the effect of buoyancy? That is, a reduction has to be made in the gross weight of the member, because the submerged weight will always be lesser than the actual weight.